Welcome to another episode of TheBtzTho. This is episode 3, season 2. We have Paulie Shankz in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Paulie Shankz.
Bars, baby, bars, yeah.
Mr. Lee is in the building. What's going on? How you doing, man?
Well, I'm living. Life is good.
Life is definitely good. Me and you been really good friends for so many years.
Son, we knew each other since like 12, 13-ish,
I know. We knew each other.
We've been...
You was riding rollerblades when I first seen you, son.
Son, that's crazy. But yeah, everybody's like, yo, you going to the store? Yo, I got my blades. Can you pull me to the store? Like, hold on to the back of your bike seat?
Yo, that was mad cheesy, son. That was cheap, yo. You just didn't want to ride people to the store, so you put your rollerblades on.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so you've always been a creative person, moving to the beat of your own drum. And as far as drums, weren't you really into drums back in the day?
Yeah, I used to play drums at church.
How did you get into all that?
R.I.P. to my old pastors, and then we needed a new pastor, and then he came.
Right.
He came over with his fam, and then they was like musically inclined, but like playing drums and keyboard and guitar. So they taught me how to play that. Yeah.
So what did you ask, or did they?
Yeah, they just added me in one day. They was like, "I think you could play," and I was like, "Nah, I'm kind of scared." I used to be scared to like do instruments, but that one day, it was like, suck it up, grow some brass,
Brass balls?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like that, and then history was in the making, you know what I mean?
So what did you learn playing first? Because I noticed you also were playing bass, too.
Yeah, I played the bass guitar first,
mm-hmm.
and then I learned little by little by listening to B.B. King with the lead guitar, with like the 6 strings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Playing that, and then they asked me, they was like, could you play like the keyboard? And then I said, basically, if it's like the same kind of notes, instead of sitting there, standing up, holding the guitar with a strap, you can sit down.
Right.
And it's like playing the piano.
So you wanted to sit down like B.B. King?
Yeah. Yes. Relax, put the guitar on your knee, and just play some blues. Like, yeah, baby. A lot of y'all don't know I own a harmonica right now.
And how did you get into owning this harmonica?
Well, actually, it's my girlfriend's harmonica, but she left it alone. This was before the C19 came into play.
Right. So it seems like to me, like a lot of these instruments that you have, they're all blues instruments. You got harmonica, you got bass, you got drums, you got guitar.
That's what makes the feel of the music. It's the feel of it. If you can throw like a little B.B. King into some like Lil Jon, yeah, and you hear them horns in the background, horns.
Right.
There's a lot of ish. Everything makes you feel a certain way. You can listen to a slow jam and you can hear them little soft sounds. Listen to how Seal, the singer Seal, sounds. He sounds airy.
Like breathy, yeah, he does.
You like, yo, I feel that song. Like, you might not even know who the Space Jam soundtrack is, but then when you hear the
or the Batman soundtrack,
yep.
That was my joint, man. I remember going to summer camp and we had a night where they had like a kind of like a date night between the boys and the girls, right? And you could go up. They were sending around a list where you could request certain songs for the young ladies. And one of the songs that was on there was "Kissed by a Rose" from Seal, yo. And that joint came on. I was like,
you can't go wrong with that song. You have no choice but to look up. Like, just look up, have a little tear in your eye, and then you just...
I know.
That song is ill. Like Fly Like an Eagle on Space Jam. Every time I hear that right now, I just be like, yo, I want to play basketball. Like, it's certain things, certain songs that gives you that emotion with the blues. Every song has a blues moment. Look at what Jay-Z is doing. What he did with Kanye. I got what you need. What you need.
Right.
Make you feel that passion again,
So what about now? What about the music from now? Do you feel like the music right now, let's say like a 6ix9ine or Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, do you think that these songs and this type of music has that same feel, same vibe somewhere in it?
Right now, like, the Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion over there, that WAP, they're trying to be like the Little Kim and Foxy Brown of it. Think about it.
Yeah, in a way.
But then like the Tekashis and all that, no. Like everybody sounds like the same kind of, but then they try to flip it.
Right.
You know, at least look at the new rapper, DaBaby. I ain't got no problems with his music because he's dancing with his ish too. He's doing his own thing.
All right, so back to it. So the music from nowadays, it's still some value. There still is some feeling there, correct?
Yes.
All right, cool, man. I like a lot of the new things. I know a lot of people that, you know, a lot of my friends that do music that's the same age as me, that are producers, that are musicians or singers. They're like, oh, this new music, man, you know, I don't know. I can't get with it, the mumble rap. But at some point in time, this is popular.
Well, that's what they getting away with. The mumble rap.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can say 3 words. I sat down, I picked up a tree. You know it's me.
Yo, so but you rap too. So have you tried doing some kind of like style, like mumble rap style, or
no? I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to.
Why not?
It's because I want everybody to hear the words of it.
Tell me, why do you feel like it's so important for people to hear the words to music?
Because that's what makes the culture. When you hear somebody, all right, you're a rapper, right? I watched you rap. I watched you battle rap, right?
This is back in the 2000s, yo. Go ahead. Go ahead. This is the beginning of the 2000s you're talking about.
But I'm just saying, look how many times you had to sit down when you was freestyling and thought about words that had to go with words. And that's why motherfuckers is mumbling.
Me and you about the same age, around the same age group, right?
Damn right.
Can you give us a little picture or a little glimpse of growing up in the 1990s into the year 2000 and the influence of music and sports around that time?
Okay, let's go with the influence of music. Okay, we're going to talk about Naughty by Nature.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Jagged Edge. We're going to talk about Drew Hill. We're going to talk about Baby Love making music. KC, Jodeci.
Yo.
Like, a lot of these cats out here, they don't know about stuff like that. Like, you could play that, you be like, yo, listen to this. This is my jam back in the day. They be sitting there looking straight out the window, like, what is that?
They just don't feel it, bro.
Son, like, Cisco, Drew Hill, I hate to say his name, but I might get in trouble for it. Even R. Kelly, though, the new age, the mid-age, like, he did songs for them. He's like, new age of like Michael Jackson, but he will never be a Michael Jackson.
Right. But how did these songs and these groups, and you mentioned a lot of R&B names too. What space did it put you in when you were younger, when you heard these songs come
from out? Like the groups, the R&B groups? Like before all this R. Kelly thing came out, you play some like Black Panties album, bro. You're good. You play like a Jodeci, you're good.
I remember back in the day, you having an S curl too. I think this close to actually dyeing your hair. You were so close to dyeing your hair and becoming Cisco. Yo, you was close.
Son, when I did the S curl, because you brought back memories right there. When you said that, the S curl, and then they got into like a fro of the S curl. When I got to school, it was cool. I had the S curl, had to keep gelling that every day. That one day, it was like raining outside. And it was cold, and we got on the 111, and I was on the back of the bus, standing like by the back door where everybody sneak on. My hair was hard as like a rock, and I heard like one of the kids on the bus say, "Nigga, hair must be hard as a rock." I cut my hair after that.
Yo, how did it get so dry?
Son, because it was cold outside, and I just had fresh gel in it.
I think you were going through a phase where you just wanted to have that slick hair, you know, like that hair that, you know, like when you were watching Living Single, it'd be like, oh, Ray Jean's man's coming over. Yo, Ray Jean's man's coming over, some light skin boy in the door. His hair is slick.
I did that. I was like, yo, let me try that.
It seems like church had a very big influence on you growing up.
Yeah, it did. My grandmother, my moms, my sisters, they went until like a certain age when they was like, nah, we ain't going. Kept going until her time of passing. Shouts out to you, I see you, baby.
Okay.
But I kept going because my grandmother kept me in the church.
And through that, that's how you started playing all these musical instruments. Because if you never went to church,
I wouldn't have learned how to play.
You would have never had the opportunity to play anything.
I probably would have just been basketball.
Okay, and now we get into this basketball aspect of the question. Yeah. Sports.
What happened?
How did that have an influence on you growing up, like during the 90s to the 2000s?
I used to be whack. No good. Like I had no kind of skill. All I could do was jump. That was my only thing.
Right.
So then one day after my mom's passing, shouts out to you, I see you, baby. I moved to this block called 187 or 104. And there was this dude on the block. He was like tall and black, but he was like Spanish. What the fuck was it? I think his name was like Tito Cruz, something like that.
This nigga's fronting like he don't remember this nigga's name. So, all these niggas was terrified of Tito so when he was growing up.
Son.
I remember his name.
Son, he was like the beast on the block. Like he was the one to beat. But then I took my steps, like as of being like a sports player. Like I played baseball, you know. You play handball with the Spanish, you know.
Especially with that hair slick back. Shoot, they accepted you like nothing. They was like, oh yeah, puppy.
But, you know, it was all good just like that. But, you know, like basketball was my thing. You call me whack at this. I'm good at everything else. Football, I'm good. Baseball, I'm good. Soccer, I might be all right. I don't, you know. But
right.
Basketball was my thing because that was like my main goal. Everybody called me whack. I started from grabbing rebounds to blocking shots to dunking.
You coming off grabbing a rebound and elbowing everybody.
Like,
everybody getting elbowed.
I started off doing that, like grabbing rebounds. And that's when everybody's like, yo, he can jump high. He can jump high. So that's when I started working on like little moves. I didn't have no ill crossover, but I used to watch a lot of A1 mixtapes.
Right. I remember those. Hot sauce and all that. I started
picking up little moves here and there, and then I started developing like a little floater shot. Next summer, work harder. Okay, now I got a little crossover. I can get rebounds, and I can jump high. So now let me add that in. So then here comes this dude that lived on the block. His name was Tito. He played everybody on the block. Beat everybody to that one day. It was my moment of clarity. I had no choice but to grow and grab that brass ring. It's either beat him now, pause, or shut him up. And that's what it was. It was a floater, 3-pointer, and that shit went in. And I got carried on the pride of my well-beings. Y'all carried me like we won the NBA championship. That was the most respectful day of my life on the block.
That's where you got your props. That's where you got your props from.
Like,
that day, it was like, all right, he's cool. He's cool now.
When I took that shot, everybody on the block got quiet, and that shit felt like in slow motion, like. Ding.
Paulie, did you hear any music when you made that shot?
In my head.
Any theme songs when they picked you up on their shoulders?
It was Big Thomas.
What, you talking about from Wendy?
No, Big Thomas.
Oh, I thought you said Dave Thomas.
Car real big. Okay. House real big.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those two things always kind of went hand in hand with you, just being musically talented and physically talented with the sports, correct?
Yes.
Do you think that you will ever pursue these two things professionally, which is sports or music now?
Like right now, it's Paulie Shankz time. Okay. Anybody else who wants to see me on the streets, we can see each other. I can still bust that ass at 36 years old. So
yeah, let's clarify. This is talking about basketball.
Yeah, I know. I can still move. I can still move, son.
Yeah. I
got a son that's 2 years old, bro, and he keeps me on my toes, bro. Right. I have to keep moving with him. He thinks he's fast, but I'm faster. If I can run and catch him in Timberland boots, bro, yeah.
Right. Do you think you'll ever teach your son?
He's 2 years old.
Kingston. Do you think you'll ever teach Kingston how to play any of those instruments?
Yeah, I can teach him how to play instruments. He follows everything that I do. If I'm sitting there and I'm just tapping my leg, he'll follow me. He'll sit right next to me. I'm talking about close next to me, hip to hip. He's my best friend, son. Like, for real, like, Out of anybody else, no disrespect to y'all my peoples, but that's my best friend.
Did anybody else in your family play any musical instruments or anything like that?
No.
Nobody. You're the first?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my dad was, that's where I get my speed from, because my dad, he used to be a track runner back in the day. Back in like...
Really?
Yeah, in like 88 and ish.
Wow.
His tag name
was
crazy. They called him Quick Leg. That's why I'm fast on my feet.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you running a lot too, man, when we were kids, yo. Being on them toes,
Yeah. Growing up, had nothing. Came from nothing to partially something, you know. I'm not out on the street. I'm not sitting on the train trying to sing songs and, yo, can I get a dollar?
You ain't in no abandoned building with cold air blowing through open windows. You know,
got like
50 Jimi Hendrix.
50 blankets on and shit.
50 blankets on, listening to Jimi Hendrix and shit.
As us growing up from the 90s to the 2000s, a lot has changed. Now they're coming out with all these game systems that's like virtual reality, when we used to have to sit at the game system and fucking pause that shit and be like, yo, what happened? And get the scrap paper. Niggas don't know about scrap paper.
Getting the scrap paper, drawing mazes. Yo, I picked up the tool from over here. I picked it up over here. Let's talk about gaming for a second. These are three things that I think make up who Paulie Shankz really is. One, he's a gamer. Two, he is a basketball player. And three, he is a rapper.
It's all competition. Because you remember back in the day when we used to play the NBA 2K, but on the Dreamcast, used to sneak out to school early to come to your house like, yo, Mom Dukes, get off at 5, but we got to be out of there like 4:45. Leave
4:45.
Leave the school at like 1. Get to your crib quick.
I know, yo. Turn on the TV. Turn on that Zenith TV. You plug it in the Dreamcast. You're like, why it still look so cloudy? Nah, it's a TV, bro.
TV gotta warm up.
They gotta warm up. Then you also got to leave enough time for the TV to cool down, just in case if they come home and they say, how long you been home? I just got home.
Yeah.
And they feel the TV and then it's a little bit cool. They say, all right, he's telling the truth. But how much is gaming been a part of your life?
Like right now, I still game, you know.
Not even right now, but overall, like I've always known you to be a hardcore gamer.
Well, it relaxes you too at the same time. It keeps you out of trouble. As long as you stay home and you got everything you need, you're good. Mm-hmm. Like, instead of just being out there on the street like, yo, I want a 2K21, and then you get into a fight.
Right.
I'm not into that.
What games are you really into, man? I know you used to be into, like, basketball games. That's given.
Yeah.
But what other games outside of sports are you into?
Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, Splinter Cell.
These are called, like, adventure games, correct?
Yeah.
You just try to get away?
Me?
Yeah, like, mentally.
Yeah, because it's relaxing. You know, you ain't yelling all the time. You might yell at the TV because you messed up. Like, yo, I hit the up, down, left. And then it doesn't work.
Yo, that's the most frustrating thing is like, okay, this is one game that I love, but I hate it at the same time. It's any fighting game.
Yeah.
Any fighting game like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Virtual Fighter. What's another one? Tekken. Bloody Raw. All these, they have these combinations that you have to, up, down, left, right, AB2,
all
left
at the same time, and it's all at the same time. And if you don't hit it,
and you got to hit it exactly the same every single time. If not, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You getting sweeper kicked. You trying to put all these buttons in, all these button combinations in, then you getting sweeper kicked.
Yep, you getting no sword poke or frozen.
Sword poke. One sword poke, half your energy's gone. You like, he didn't have to do nothing. He just put back, forward, square or something like that.
That's true.
I think gaming is pretty important, especially for right now where people are in this quarantine, in this pandemic, and they can't really get out as much as they could before, right? Yeah. Like they have the opportunity to just get on the game and play whatever and get away for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I still play. Like, I still play the basketball. I got 2K17, 18, 19, and 20.
Right.
I got the Madden. I got Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You're basically into sporting games and action gaming.
Yeah, action. Anything with action, like I was just saying. I just got Metal Gear Solid.
Right. I remember that one too.
Which is a short game, but it's long as hell, because if you don't know what you're doing, that's what makes the game long.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid is like a hair trigger game. Like, if you don't go around the corner enough and they see like the back of your boot heel or something, you know, you're done. Now you got to start from the beginning all over again.
Yeah, and if you get get spotted in that light, that's it. So you got to snipe that light out.
Yeah. You play so many of these action games and stuff. Do you ever have dreams about being in these action games ever?
Not really. Yesterday I was watching a movie and it was with them in Miami on water. I wound up falling asleep and then I was like on like some ski-doo type thing around a bunch of pools.
Like a wave runner?
Yeah, like something like that. And then it had like a bunch of pools around it. And then like it was like this big spark, like how they do in Las Vegas when they shoot the sprinklers off.
Like a fountain?
Yeah, and it shot me off into another pool. And then I woke up in a cold sweat though. Like, so I don't know if I was talking in my sleep. I don't know.
I think all of these things, the gaming, the music, being a musician, these are all different creative aspects. I just recently got into like understanding how games work and how to actually build games and things like that. Even though I know nothing about it, just learning about it is like super exciting to me.
Oh, so you got your own game that you're coming out with? Like,
it's a little bit of an idea. Well, one of the things that I always would look at in playing these games is like, whenever you play Street Fighter or anything like that, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all these fighting games, like there's always only like one black person on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Jax. Like Jax?
Yeah, Jax. And it's two things. He's either buff.
Eddie Goro on Tekken.
Yeah, or he could dance really good. And that's not cool, bro. That's not cool at all.
So that's how they try to portray us. Like, try to portray us like, he knows how to fight. He has like two moves. And then if he's not dancing, like, to like swivel through, he's going to lose. Like,
right. And those dance moves used to bust ass. I ain't even going to lie about that. That used to bust people's ass. That capoeira dancing and shit like that used to bust people's ass. But this is how they throw the wrench into it, the whole thing. This is how they throw the wrench into the whole thing. They say, yo, we're going to make a character. He going to have the most confusing moves. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to give him a move called sword poke. So while he dancing and doing all that shit, all this other character had to do is one sword poke and half your energy's gone.
Yeah.
So I decided that I wanted to develop a game that actually uses predominantly black characters instead of all these other characters. Like, they try to play it off like all these other characters like aren't white. Like, you had like Zangief. You know what I'm saying?
Zangief was that dude, bro.
Yeah, he do that spin. He had a couple dance moves. I don't care what anybody told me. That's a dance move.
Yeah, Zangief. You had Ken and Ryu off Street Fighter. They was like the main two. Who you got? I got Ken. Who you got? I got Ryu.
But that's what people used to do. People used to say, as soon as somebody picks Ryu, somebody got to pick Ken.
Or E-Honda.
Or E-Honda too. E-Honda too. He was fly too. I ain't gonna lie. He had the cheat move, the 100-hand slap or something like that.
It was. If you hit that like back A and B together, it was like
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I use all those to just cheese all through those games, man. I do the 100-hand slap, and then I would like jump up into the corner so you could have hit me.
He said cheese. Motherfucker is cheesing out.
Cheesing all through the game. So you get all the way to the master. You get all the way to the master, and then like the master got like some ultimate move. Like, no matter what you do, no matter where you move in the whole board, like you're gonna get hit.
But yeah, man, all that, like living through life, like making it through fights and everything.
Do you remember the music on those games, like those fighting games?
Like, it would be like some kind of techno But then like they would have like one that was like techno mixed with like club. Like some
right. Yeah, and then they would have like a New York soundtrack. Like it'd be like ching ching some jazz shit on there. You can get whooped to Dizzy Gillespie.
For real. This is crazy.
Yeah,
like a lot of games, like, but that's what made us who we are as friends through life. Me, you, Dan, Alex, Damien, Tito, and Ronald, Rodney, Gio. We all used to play these games together. Yo, son, we playing Gran Turismo.
Yo, and you know me, like on any of those games, I always want to pick the worst character to see if I could do something.
Yeah, Fur Fighters.
That's all Sega Genesis.
Playing Revenge of Shinobi. And then Shinobi. Yo, that was the first dude to wear do-rag in a video game. Shinobi, I swear to you, he the first dude to wear do-rag in a video game. Tell me I'm lying. Well, he really reminded me of Assassin's Creed, but
tell me I'm lying. He's the first dude to wear do-rag.
Well, he did, because it was always flowing to the side. And then you had to like take a knee because you ain't know where the villain was. So you had to be like just shooting stars for no reason.
Yo, for real. So Paulie, let me ask you, what do you see happening for 2021 and going forward for Paulie Shankz?
Going forward for Paulie Shankz, I hope to see no more deaths or hear about it. I know everybody's protesting right now, but damn, son, it's enough.
Right.
You want to protest about somebody's life, that's cool. But you're tearing up your city, bro, to do it. You can fuck up your job, bro. Come on, son. I want to speak out on it, but it's food for thought. Okay, you protest, you riot. Yes, I understand. But like to destroy your community that you live in?
I actually heard somebody say something that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And they said that if black people took out life insurance on each other, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes these life insurances could be anywhere from $500,000, higher than $500,000 to like $200,000.
You get $50 million for a year.
Yo, for real. All right, so busted. So if we all started doing that and they killing us, everybody they out here killing us, at some point in time, the insurance companies that are paying out these life insurances to all these people that are dying, they're gonna have to say, hey man, y'all killing too much of these people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We going broke out.
Yeah.
So I said, man, that made a lot of sense to me. And I said, wow, that really kind of like took me back a little bit and made me think about what's going on.
Yeah, all this justice for this person, justice for that person. I understand that. I didn't say you couldn't do it. I ain't saying you can't do it. But I'm just saying y'all doing it in your own communities.
It's crazy out here. We just gotta watch out for each other and stay alert as possible. Mr. Paulie Shankz, Mr. Shankz, Mr. Lee.
Shankz.
Right now we are coming into our closing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you for taking the time out to do this thing. It took us about 4 or 5 times to get this interview popping. But we talked about sports, we talked about music, we talked about gaming, we talked about the state that the world is in right now. I want to thank you for listening, supporting me and what I'm doing. If you know anyone that wants to be interviewed, whether they're in the state of New York or out of the state of New York, please send me an email at TheBtzTho@gmail.com. This is your local producer, neighborhood Mr. Rogers producer / Bob Ross.
AKA, he wants to see the sunny skies, the beautiful women.
AKA Rick Ross.
You feel like something
light, like a croissant. Well, not a bagel, but a croissant. Not a bagel, but a croissant. All right, so Will, thanks for talking to my listeners out here, and I appreciate it. You know, you've always been a friend to me, a stand-up guy, and it's nice to see you in a great position in your life right now.
Yeah, just chilling, man, living life, man. You can't take it with you when you're gone, so you only got one life. So this is what I do. I try to improvise and improve and improv. Food for thought, man. Right. Food for thought. Check it out.
Food for thought. Check out a podcast called Food for Thought. All right. And we're out of here. Good night.
All right, yo, peace. Yeah.